Okay. You look beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. So let's talk about your views. And this is Julie
Borowski.
Borowski.
Yes.
And you're the sole libertarian on YouTube?
There's quite a few of us, but I do have a libertarian YouTube channel.
Right, and I appreciate the fact that you recognize me. I'm not that famous, so it's nice that somebody recognized me. Anyway, is there anything you'd like to talk about?
Liberty. Whatever
Okay.
you want to talk about.
Well, maybe you've noticed that my favorite topics on domestic policy are redistribution of wealth, and my favorite topic in foreign policy is when we should go to war. So, do either of those grab your attention?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Let's start with, should the government redistribute its citizens' wealth?
No, absolutely not. That you earn your wealth, that's yours, and you should not, the government should not be able to do. Sorry, let me start that over.
Okay.
No.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, I just did an interview.
Right.
No, the government should not be able to distribute wealth. That's your own. You earn that money. You should earn it. You should do whatever you want with your own money.
Is the government supposed to protect citizens against people that want to use force to take their money?
I believe that people can defend themselves, and if they need help, they can get it.
You don't think that the government should protect the citizens against people that want to use force to take their money?
Well, why is that the government's job?
Okay, so do you think the government should have any jobs?
I'm not really too sure about that. I believe ideally I would like a voluntary society where all exchanges are voluntary.
So you don't think the government should have any police?
I think that's very much a last step. I think there are things you have to go to before you get there.
Okay, but ultimately you think that would be optimum, where each citizen is responsible for his own defense, and there would be basically no government, right?
I mean, I would like to see a free market, a free society happen. I don't think that's going to happen in my lifetime. I'm not advocating for that. I just want, some steps in the right direction at least.
Yeah, but you either want the government to have a role, a function of protecting the individual rights of the citizens, or you think there should be no government and each citizen should protect his own rights.
Well, I try to be a very practical person. I understand what my ideals may not happen, so I advocate for what can happen in the near future.
But if you had your rathers, you think the optimum would be that there would be no government?
I don't see that happening in my lifetime, so it's not something I'm focused on.
Okay. I don't think you answered, but it's okay. I'm curious because there is a position called anarchist, or the anarchy position, and they believe that no government is the optimum. There's other people that believe that a limited government, where the government is limited to defending the individual rights of the citizens, that would be the optimum. I was just trying to get which of those two models you think is the optimum.
I understand, but like I said, I'm a very practical person. If we went back to constitutional and limited government, that's a huge step in the right direction. That's what I'm kind of advocating for, small steps in the right direction.
So you would then advocate for there to be a government and for there to be police to protect the citizens against people that want to use force to take their money?
Well, it's not something I directly advocate for because I don't see it happening anytime soon. So it's kind of, what's the point of saying that? I want to focus on goals that are actually winnable in the near future.
So you do think that the government in the near future now should have a role and should protect the citizens against people that want to use force, like robbers, to take their money?
Well, I know it's going to in the near future. It's not going to change. People aren't on board with that. The majority of people are not on board with that. A very small percentage of people are. So we definitely need to advocate. We definitely need to advocate for short-term goals that actually are winnable and to get the public involved.
Well, most people right now believe that the government should protect the citizens against people that want to use force to take their money.
Most people are for big government these days, and we're trying to put them in the right direction.
So you think that the government preventing robbers from assaulting you is equivalent to big government?
No, that's not what I said.
I'm a little bit confused. I'm trying to follow you. So should there be police or not?
It's not something.
Are you better off with where there is a government and they can protect you against people that want to use force to take your money, or would you be better off without a government and you protect yourself against people that want to use force to take your money?
I'm very realistic about it. I know that's not going to happen. You're not going to privatize police anytime in the next couple of years, so why be focused on that? I believe, getting rid of police corruption is a good start.
Okay, so the government does have a role to protect the citizens against other aggressors, predators who want to use force to take their money.
It has a role now.
Do you think it should have a role?
Like I said, I'm a very practical person.
You think it should, or you don't think it should?
I think the here and now. I'm not thinking about, but there are so many other winnable goals that we could focus on besides that.
So do you think there should be any laws?
Like I said, you're not going to get rid of all the laws in the next couple of years. You can get rid of the really bad ones. Yeah, that's what I think you should advocate for.
Would it be better if we could get rid of all of them? Is that your end goal?
Well, that's not going to happen.
Why not? If people agree with you, if people agree that anarchy is the best state, then they would...
How many anarchists are there? Less than 1% of the population.
I agree, but and they're unlikely to get a majority, but it could happen. It's not that it's impossible.
Sure, but it's not a winnable thing to focus on right now, getting rid of all the laws. Really bad laws we can get rid of in the near future. That's why I see the best thing we can do to be most effective.
Okay, so to try to finalize this line of questioning, should the government protect the citizens against people that want to use force to take their money?
It is right now.
I agree, and do you think it should?
Like I said, I don't see privatizing police anytime in the near future. So that's not something I'm going to advocate for because it's not going to happen anytime soon.
Okay, but originally I thought you said that the people should protect themselves.
Ideally, yes.